So today we will take a look at all of the features, but first up, the unboxing. Like usual with Samsung smartphones, there isn't too much to unbox. There is the Samsung Galaxy A16, which you can, by the way, get in a few different colors. Now there is this blue and black version, but you can also get it in the colors of light green and light gray. Further down you will also find a USB Type-C cable, the SIM pin and some of the paper stuff. But there's no case and no extra charging brick and no special smell like with some of the Motorola smartphones. Okay, let's get over to the specs and the design. And right here we have a smartphone with a 6.7-inch display, but you have to be careful since this phone is only IP54 dust and splash water resistant. So don't try taking some underwater snapshots with this one. For the low price of 230 euros, you will get a full plastic smartphone. You will have a plastic frame and a plastic backside, and at least on this blue-black version you will see every single fingerprint. This is probably much better on the light green and the light gray version. Design wise, the A16 looks just like the A15. You have a triple cam setup on the backside on the top left corner. It's a 50 megapixel main camera, a 5 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel macro camera with no optical image stabilization, but we will get to that one later on in the video. Like I said, we have a 6.7-inch AMOLED display with a 90Hz refresh rate, which is set by default, but you can also trim it down to just 60Hz for a longer battery life. One thing I don't like about the screen is the screen to body ratio. Right here we have a ratio of 86%, and if you take a close look at the bottom of the display, you will see a big fat lip down there. The black bezels all around on the sides and on the top, they are much better, but it's too big on the bottom. You will get a resolution of 1080p by 2340 pixel and a peak brightness of 800 nits. Now thanks to the older display you will get a good contrast and dark blacks, and also colors look poppy, but 800 nits isn't too much, and if you are standing in direct sunlight it could be a little bit hard to see everything on the screen. In your display settings you can also change the screen mode. By default it is set to vivid, but you can also give it a more natural look, and you can also adjust the white balance. Then there is the eye comfort shield, which is basically your blue filter of this phone, and you can of course change the font style and the size. Likely your viewing angle will stay the same if you tilt your phone to either side, and the small selfie camera in the middle isn't getting in the way if you're watching some of your movies. As for the audio, there's no stereo speaker setup on this phone, but still the sound isn't too bad. It gets loud and the quality of it is good too, even though you will notice that you will only hear the sound from the bottom end of your phone. There's also Dolby Atmos for your media and for your games, but this one only works in combination with some earbuds or your headphones. By the way, if you like my content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. You will also find a link to the smartphone down below in the description. When it comes to the battery life, the A16 is actually pretty good. You got a 5000 mAh battery inside, and on continuous video streaming, this one lasts up to 15 hours. So this phone definitely lasts a whole weekend, but there's once again no wireless and no reverse wireless charging. Just a 25 watts charging isn't super fast. In my test, it charged from 0 to 70% in just about an hour. Alright, up to some features, and like I already mentioned, Samsung promised up to 6 years of OS and security updates, but they also say that this might change a little bit. This phone comes either with 128 or 256 gigs of internal storage with either 4 or 8 gigs of RAM, and about 15 gigs are already used up by the system, at least on my 128 gig version. Gladly we can expand the storage up to 1.5 TB with an extra micro SD card. We have a fingerprint sensor and a face detection on the A16, and both work pretty good, but the face detection takes a little bit longer than the fingerprint sensor. Now overall you cannot expect too many features on this phone. You will get your modes and routines feature. These are different modes based on what you're doing or where you are. Like for example, if I'm at the office, the phone knows it and will turn on the D&D mode automatically. But you can also set it for a time, like Monday to Friday from 9 to 5 p.m. On this phone you will also get some wallpapers, but only some very standard ones and nothing too fancy. You can customize your home screen, you can change the folder, app and the home screen grid, or even change the home screen layout. You got the usual safety and emergency features like the emergency SOS or the silence notifications while driving feature, and then of course you will also get some gesture controls. There's a one-handed mode. You can double press the side button to either quickly open up your camera, or you can open up any of your apps. You can double tap the screen to turn it off and on, or you can do the palm swipe to take a screenshot. As for your performance and the gaming, now depending on your region you will either get the Exynos 1330 or the MediaTek Dimensity 6300 chipset, and I guess both will get the job done. Swiping through your menu or your news tab feel quite smooth, but opening up apps can really take a second. There's always a slight delay, or for some of you, it might feel like a big delay. It definitely takes too long for me since I'm used to the speed of my iPhone 15. Now, gaming on this phone isn't that easy. I would stick to some games with some low graphic settings. I tried playing Genshin Impact on the highest settings, and I mean, you can definitely play it like this, but you will get some serious lags. Even more if a lot happens on the screen at once, but also if you're just casually running around. By the way, there's also no game boost on this phone. Lastly, we got a camera. And like I said in the beginning, we got a triple cam setup with a 15 megapixel main camera, but no optical image stabilization, which is for me one of the biggest reasons I would not buy this phone. Then you will get a 5 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel macro camera. On the front, you will have a 13 megapixel selfie cam that can shoot videos in 1080p and 30 FPS, which means it is just as good as the main camera. Then you will get some different photo modes like your macro mode, night and a pro mode. You can take portrait shots or shoot slow motion videos. As for your pictures, I don't think they look very good. Now the colors look great on all cameras. They are vivid and poppy, but the detail level and the sharpness isn't that great, especially on your ultra wide angle camera. Now, in combination with your non-existing OIS, you will get some blurry pictures most of the time. Even if you think you're perfectly still, I could manage to get a blurry-free picture with this one. The colors on the ultra wide and on your normal pictures look the same, and even if you zoom in, colors look good. But if you want to zoom in on your pictures, you will get a big mess. There's only little contrast, and the only pictures I really liked are the selfie pictures. It has a good separation between you and your background, and you can also adjust the depth of field. In total there are 7 levels, and it even has a little zoom option for group photos. Now, as you know, there are many other smartphones in the same price range with a much better camera and some more features. If you're looking for that, just click right here to get right to the next video. And I guess with that one being said, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I guess I will see you in the next one. Peace.